Welcome to the Friday Spotlight Energy Report for November 12, 2010. Hosted by Jed Knutson, Shona Kay, and Chantel Flanders. Here is Shona Kay with this week's major headlines.
Thanks, Jed. The fallout continues from last week's elections in the United States. The latest casualty is the Cap and Trade program. President Barack Obama is now considering his cap and trade greenhouse gas emissions program dead for the time being, due to the Republican gains. The impact of this was also immediately felt by the only carbon trading scheme currently in play in the United States. The Chicago Climate Exchange, CCX, has run a voluntary network since 2003. Within it, companies pledge to meet annual carbon emissions targets. Those who fall below the targets may sell or bank their surplus allowances. Companies above targets may purchase credits to offset excessive emissions. The CCX program will finish at the end of 2010. Officials in Europe are worrying that additional GOP control may make it difficult to develop a worldwide climate change agreement this year. President Barack Obama and Indian Prime Minister Manmohan Singh announced Monday that their two countries will cooperate regarding energy projects such as clean energy and shale gas. A clean energy research and development center will be established in India. For 5 years, each country will contribute $5 million in annual funding, with matching private sector investment. President Obama was not the only government official traveling this past week, as mayors from around the world traveled to Hong Kong to discuss climate issues. The mayors of Johannesburg, New York City, Hong Kong, and Toronto are among the delegates from over 30 cities who attended the two-day C40 Cities Climate Leadership Group Forum. Hong Kong itself aims to reduce emissions up to 33% from 2005 levels by 2020. It is considering the use of nuclear, wind, and solar energy. Toronto Mayor David Miller commented, "It's absolutely clear to me that cities are leading the way in the fight against climate change. We have removed millions of tons of carbon among C40 cities." On Wednesday, the Environmental Protection Agency announced that it will not require carbon emitters to adopt certain technologies to reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Rather, it will mandate that they use energy more efficiently to comply with potential new climate regulations. Starting on January 2nd, big carbon emitters like refineries, manufacturers, and power plants will be required to get permits regarding their greenhouse gas emissions. The EPA released guidelines regarding the best available control technologies, BACT, for harmful gas emissions reduction. During new construction or expansion, companies will need to adhere to these guidelines, though no specific technology will be required. Now over to Jed for our top energy news stories in the United States.
Thanks, Shona. Vice President Joe Biden was responsible for introducing a new home energy efficiency incentives program this week. This program, named Recovery Through Retrofit, will provide homeowners with access to inexpensive home energy audits. It will also allow them to pay for energy-saving improvements using federally insured loans. The U.S. Vice President stated that improving the energy efficiency of homes saves consumers money on their electricity, reduces our dependence on foreign oil, and also creates jobs. He pointed to home retrofitting as one of the quickest jolts to take the U.S. towards independence from energy. It doesn't require many significant technological breakthroughs to have a gigantic impact on our consumption patterns. Walgreens recently became the first U.S. drugstore chain to utilize geothermal energy in its operations. Its Oak Park, Illinois store is heated and cooled using geothermal energy. Tom Connolly, Walgreens Vice President of Facilities Development, said, "We are always looking for new and creative ways to reduce our carbon footprint. After considering the use of geothermal, we have now made it a reality." On Tuesday, Chevron Corporation entered an agreement to purchase Atlas Energy Inc. for $4.3 billion. The company is now the newest large player in the Marcellus Shale natural gas deposit in Pennsylvania. Atlas Energy Chairman and Chief Executive Edward E. Cohen stated, "All of our employees and shareholders should know that through Chevron's acquisition of Atlas Energy, we will be bringing into the Marcellus Shale one of the world's largest corporations, an energy company second to none in its skill and dedication to excellence." Solar energy developers are proposing an Arizona solar tower over 3 times higher than the Eiffel Tower. Australian startup EnviroMission announced on Wednesday that it is moving forward with its plan to build 2 solar-powered facilities on the site, each with a 200 megawatt capacity. The towers would employ solar updraft technology to generate electric power. This involves using the towers to capture radiation from the sun. The radiation heats a substantial air mass contained under a large collector zone. Air temperatures can be raised to over 150 degrees Fahrenheit using this process. Now over to Chantel with more energy news from around the world.
Thanks, Jed. The Iranian nuclear power program has been in the headlines for weeks now. Western government officials continue to look for some solace about the actual purpose of nuclear power being implemented in Iran. By all current reports, that is unlikely to happen anytime soon. According to Iran's president, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, his country does not plan to discuss its controversial nuclear program with major world powers. President Ahmadinejad stated, "We have repeatedly said that our rights are not negotiable. We only hold talks to resolve international problems, to help the establishment of peace." President Ahmadinejad has no objection to his country partaking in discussions based on logical and rational issues. But, he said, the Iranian nation will not let anyone violate its basic rights. They, the 6 world powers, should clearly announce their views about some international issues. Matters became more complicated on Thursday when Iranian President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad said that he believes the International Atomic Energy Agency, the UN Nuclear Watch Group, leaked information to the U.S. He points this to the reason that international inspectors are not permitted to enter nuclear facilities in Iran and announced. Taiwan Power Company is developing a trial program for carbon capture at its largest coal-fired station as part of government pledges to cut emissions. According to Bloomberg, the island nation releases quantities of heat-trapping gases 3 times the world average. Taiwan has committed to carbon emissions reduction to year 2000 levels by 2025. Taiwan Power is the largest emitter of greenhouse gas within Taiwan, generating 30% of total emissions. In 2008, its total carbon dioxide production was 83 million tons. This week's energy tip concentrates on smart grid technology. Grid improvement is something we talk about quite a bit here at World Energy Media. But not everyone has access to improved grid systems or smart meters. However, everyone can still enjoy the benefits that this technology offers. The basis behind smart meter technology is that they operate when energy is at its cheapest, and that they try to regulate how much energy a household is using. The system will alert a homeowner when their usage is getting too high, or automatically shut down non-essential appliances to conserve energy. If you're not lucky enough to have one of these systems, you will have to take matters into your own hands. During peak hours, energy consumption is billed at a higher rate. Take advantage of the lower billing rates available in the evenings by doing household tasks such as laundry or running the dishwasher, and the savings will add up rather quickly. Heating a household during the day is generally one of the higher costs of a homeowner. Get up a bit early to warm the house before peak hours take effect, and then lower the heat when the sun comes up. Open the shades and blinds to take advantage of the natural warmth of the sun. If you work from home or are in the same room all day, try to make that room one that the sun is hitting for the better part of the day. You will be amazed at how much your monthly bills will go down by simply taking advantage of natural sunlight. Finally, make use of energy-saving equipment like smart strips. If something is plugged in, it is drawing electricity even when it is off. These strips will continue the flow of electricity to things like your cable modem or router, but will cut off the power to items like a printer or monitor. Over the course of the month, you may lower your utility bill by $10 to $15. That is your energy news and tip for this week. For more headlines, visit us at worldenergymedia.com. This is Chantel Flanders for Jed Knudsen and Shona Kay at World Energy Media. Thanks for watching and have a great day.